Before I conclude the CSS course, let me mention that this is just a beginner, a very high level introduction to CSS and HTML that we have done so far, and therefore I would like us to finish by doing something like a project that is going where we are going to design a navigation bar using CSS and HTML for our website here. So we are going to have a navigation bar here that we are going to design and make it look decent in this course. Now notice that we are going to continue learning a lot of HTML and a lot of CSS as we move along, and therefore I will start introducing some small projects as we go along so that you can have some handy exercises along the way. Good. That said, let me jump here and start designing my navbar. So I'm going to have something like a div class. We can go call it a class or even an ID, but let me just do a class of navbar. You can call this navbar, that's short for navigation bar. And then inside of this I'm going to have an order list. You remember this in HTML we did order lists, so an order list and order list, we did all that. And then here I'm going to have a list item. You remember after this we were having a list item, and this one I'm also going to add an anchor. Hypertext reference is going to be a hash. That means when you do this, it means that this is not going to go, this just referencing the current page. So home, and then I'm also going to close the link item. So I have opened the anchor tag, and then I have closed it, and list item and closed it. Copy this over maybe 4 or 5 times. I'm going to have about us here, and then I'm going to have maybe something like services, then maybe portfolio, and maybe a page for contact us. All right, that's enough for this site. So if I come back to my site and refresh, you can see here this is what I have: a list with dots and elements that have been underlined, and they are blue in color. Nice. We can go ahead and start writing our CSS. So we have a class of navbar. Copy this class, come back here. We are going to start designing this immediately. So this is a class, so .navbar, and then that navbar we want to apply some styles. What styles do we need to apply there? We want first of all a background color. This one we want a background color of gray, so we are going to do hash 333. That is a dark gray. So refresh, we have a dark gray background color here. The next thing we want to do here is to give our text a color of white, so hash FFF, that is white. Then refresh. Well, it doesn't turn white because of I'm going to show you why as we move along. And then there is one more thing that I want to do here. I want to give it a padding, and I want a padding of, I want 5 pixels and 15 pixels. Why do I know that? Refresh this first of all. This is what we have. The 5 pixels, you remember when I told you that we can do padding here, depending, maybe you want different paddings for different sections. Starts with top, right, bottom, left. So you can do padding 5 pixels to the right, 10 to the left, 15 to the bottom, and 30 to the left. Well, this, when you do 2 items here, what happens here is that the first 5 is applied to the top and to the bottom, and then the other 15 is applied to the right and to the left. So when you have 2 of them, they apply, the first one applies to the top and to the bottom, the second one applies to the right and to the left. If you have only one of them, well, it's going to be applied in all of them. If you want to apply this in the 4 of them, you can just give 4 items here and you're good to go. Nice. So that's what I have. The second thing that I would like to target here from our navbar is the unordered list. Okay, in the unordered list I want to give it a padding of 0. I don't want it to have any padding, so you can refresh that. No padding to the left, so that my menu or my navigation bar starts to the farthest end. And then the next thing that I want to do here is the list style, and the list style I want it to be none. What that is going to do is that it is going to remove the dots that are to the end here. So you can see now that my list does not have those dots. So list style none. Nice, looks good so far. The next element that I want to target is the list item itself now. So the list item itself, what do I want to do with this? I want to display instead of displaying what is displaying here, I want to display in not inherit, sorry, display inline. Display inline, and inline is just going to take the list that I have here in a block format and display it inline, so it's going to display it across here horizontally. So refresh, and yes, that is what has happened. It is now displayed along this path. This looks good already, but now we need to change the color of the text, and also we need to change the padding here to make it look more of a navigation menu. So target the anchor element inside of this menu, and what you're going to do here first of all is the color. You're going to change to white. So when you refresh this one now turns to white. The next element we are going to change is the text decoration. You see that my text is underlined here, so I want to say text decoration none. So this one is going to remove the underlines that you have here. So when you refresh, the underlines are gone. The next thing that we are going to be doing here is the font size. I want to have font size, I want to make it a little bit bigger, so I can do something like 18 pixels. So come back here, refresh, that is now 18 pixels. And the last thing, just look at how the menu looks squeezed together. So I can do padding right, and I'm going to give this something like 15 pixels and refresh, and that looks like a menu now. You see, that is the navigation menu that we have designed and looks good and perfect. Nice. So you can go ahead, do some practice with the things that we have done here, and I will see you in the JavaScript course.